The United States has great strength and patience, but if it is forced to defend itself or its allies, we will have no choice but to totally destroy North Korea. Rocket Man is on a suicide mission for himself and for his regime.
That was 1 year ago, and how things have perhaps changed since then. In that same speech, the president slamming Iran. So what happens today, 1 hour from now? Waleed Phares, Fox News national security and foreign affairs analyst. And good to see you, Waleed. Good morning to you. We can scan the globe in this conversation. Start with Korea. How significant do you think things truly are 12 months later?
Well, very much, Bill, because what we've done is to change the behavior of North Korea. It's not just the speech of the president and his tweets, but it's also the massive military deployment that the Pentagon has done around North Korea. In addition, of course, to the talks with China, there was a whole infrastructure of activities that forced the North Korean regime to change behavior. And it's very, very clear that they did. Of course, there are many things that need to be addressed. It's a long project, but a change has happened.
Well, he's speaking to a body that supports, by and large, the Iran nuclear deal as well. And this is a president who pulled them out. New sanctions kick in about a month from now, a month and a half from now. I don't believe there will be any meeting with the Iranian leader. Do you think there should be?
No, I would be opposed to this idea. I would advise otherwise, exactly what the president has said, unless the Iranian leadership will start showing indications that they are changing, exactly as for North Korea, and that would be very clear. For example, beginning to withdraw from Syria, Iraq, Yemen, or saying that they are willing to withdraw, stopping the threats against the United States, stopping the maneuvers in the Gulf area against the Arab neighbors. So the U.S. needs to have indications that the leaders in Tehran are changing behavior. Otherwise, the president has a good handle on this.
Okay, what about Syria? What about ISIS? What would be your expectation on that?
I think on ISIS, it's 85% job done. Now, to do it completely, efficient, we need to make sure that in Syria, those who are going to be replacing ISIS are not going to be the Iranian militia or Hezbollah or the Assad-backed militia. So the end of ISIS is linked to our ability to contain Iran. They're both linked. With regard to the Assad regime and the Russians, the Russians are operational in western Syria. We are operational in eastern Syria. John Bolton has said something very important. We're not withdrawing from Syria before the Iranians start to withdraw back to Iran. So I think we are going in the right direction. Of course, it needs a lot of effort.
Well, Iran's in the middle of all that as well. The president talks about an America First policy, and what he freely admits is that every country's leadership looks out for its own people and its own country, as it should be. That's the point he makes. What is the message regarding America First today that that you would expect to hear, perhaps, Waleed?
Look, since 2016, since the campaign, this slogan of America First basically is not just that. It's America First, but we are with the international community on many common grounds. And as you just said, Bill, it's absolutely true that every country is itself first. The French, for example, always consider that France is first. The British would do the same, any country in the world. At this point in time, what President Trump and his administration tried to do is stop being for others without being for ourselves in terms of national security, in terms of deals like the Iran deal, so on and so forth. And I think the change has become a reality at this point in time. Of course, this is a work not just for one administration, maybe for the next 3 administrations to complete.
Thank you, Waleed. Waleed Phares there in Washington, D.C. Watch along with us, okay? And we'll talk to you next hour right here in America's Newsroom, all right?
Thank you.
You bet. 19 past the hour.